Lovely starshine lights my way to bed. Magic rainbows glisten in my head. Just like a child, I live in Wonderland. All my dreams are coming true. Heavy shackles used to hold me down. Now my feet don't even reach the ground. All my dreams are coming true.
Trans Am Worldwide's tribute to the 1970 Chevelle. We call it the 70 SS. Beyond my expectations. I mean, the car is incredible. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's probably going to be a blue with white stripes is what I'm thinking I'm leaning towards.
I think I'll go fly into the sky. Give the moon a smooch, he's my kind of guy. Just like a butterfly, I've got new wings. All my dreams are coming, all my dreams are humming. All my dreams are coming true.
Brad's a guy that knows when he sees it, that's it.
I mean, I was completely blown away. I put my down payment that day before I left.
He is a discretionary collector and a connoisseur of the finer things in life.
I've got a Dodge Demon. It was actually Hennessy's car, so it was 1,000 horsepower. Got a Dodge Viper that's one of 33. Got a couple Bentleys, a couple Ferraris, and I've got some Jeeps. Got an H1 Hummer.
He's got number 24 of only 25 that'll ever be made. 1,600 horsepower under the hood, right at 1,500 at the rear wheel.
You know, when I was in high school, I couldn't afford a 70 SS. When I was in college, I couldn't, but I always wanted one. So, I've worked hard and feel very fortunate. I'm in a position where I can create my dream, for lack of a better term, of an automobile. Somebody said, what's the last car you're going to drive? It would be that. It would be that car, for sure, hands down. So, yeah. That is exactly what I was envisioning.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, when I said it like a dark, deep blue.
Yeah.
What the cool thing is, like, this is gonna look black at night, I imagine, right?
Yeah. It does.
God, look at these lines.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Brad is a multiple-time customer. One of the cars that we built for him was one of the Bandits from the edition we did with Burt Reynolds that he signed.
I've got 73 of 77 of the Bandit. The highest horsepower, if I'm not mistaken, was around 840 or something. And throughout the process, they had the ability and the technology to have a 1,000 horsepower engine. So I upgraded to that. So I was one of the few that got that package.
With the shaved, we have the button here. And then it just needs a gentle pull.
Yeah, so they shaved the door handles and everything.
Oh my gosh, that smells so good.
Yeah.
The interior color just really pops.
No, I agree.
I mean,
No, that was a winner for sure.
I love how it turned out.
Good. Oh, okay. I'm glad you're happy.
That is so awesome.
The rear view on that car is just never seen anything like it.
And in the 2019, he commissioned us to build a motorcycle to match the Bandit. We only actually did 3 of those motorcycles. We did one for myself and for the Gold Edition car that I built.
Growing up, I raced motocross. Perhaps somewhere in conversation, we had talked about bikes. He texts or called me, says, hey, I'm building a Bandit bike for myself. And I think he said maybe one other person. Would you have any interest? And I said, I'm in. Because I just know the quality of work he does.
He owns a LS6 1970 that my brother at Trans Am Depot restored for him.
I got to know Todd and Scott through the Bandit program. And I told Scott, I said, if you ever come across a 70 Chevelle Super Sport, I'd love to have one. Believe it or not, 2 weeks later, he says, hey, Brad, you're not going to believe this. I was out picking up another car and I saw a Chevelle 70 SS 454. It's a beautiful car. We wouldn't need to do any of the body work, any of the paint or anything like that. Got the SS, started that process.
It turned into a resto mod, and then he took the original engine and encapsulated it, set it to the side so he wasn't putting miles on that, and he could enjoy the LSX.
And it's phenomenal. Love it. Drive it all the time.
I don't know what view's my favorite, Brad.
It's like looking at a supermodel.
And you never saw these cars in person?
No.
This first time?
No.
Wow.
Brad had not seen a finished version of his car. He had received a few pictures of it in mock-up or when the engine was being dropped in or something like that. So he was really seeing his car for the first time when he landed in Biloxi. And we were able to get it out on the tarmac so it could be right there for him. I have to thank Millionaire for that because they were the ones that provided that opportunity for us to do that.
God, I mean, look at, I love the curves. I mean, the front and the rear. Oh my God.
While Brad's admiring his car, another jet lands. A gentleman gets out with his family, and he instantly makes his way over to the car.
Got another one for sale?
We can make you one.
How long it take to get it?
A year and a half.
I'm too damn old. I can't back really But if you had one, maybe I can leave my number. I'd buy it.
Sure.
My name's Sammy Martin.
And he ordered one. We actually have his car in the shop now. It's going through all the phases already. Start with an Alpha chassis as a donor car. We strip it down to the rolling chassis, gut the interior, gut the drivetrain, the powertrain, and we rebuild it back with a full carbon fiber body. Right now there's about 44 carbon fiber parts. That's everything from the fenders to the doors to the quarter panels to the deck lid to the tonneau cover to the hood, the grille, bumpers.
This part is insanely complex too. It fits very tight, so I'm not gonna push it back in. But that's the part as it comes out. It's got all the little grills, all these little details. Came out real nice. It's ready to trim. It's already been in the oven.
This is a passenger side fender. Has the main big piece, this back piece, which remains bolted on while we're laying it up, the wheel well, and then you got the top where the hood will close down on. You got to lay them all up separately and then bolt them together, and that's how it gets cooked into one piece.
We're starting from the front, so I have to make sure I got the front, and the hood, and the fenders, doors, and the last will be the trunk lid, back bumper.
We've been making these parts for, I want to say, almost a year now. Thankfully, we know these molds well enough to know what we're doing to make them perfect, which is all they have to be.
Well, this is what a part looks like when it comes out of the oven. We initial them, put a date on them, and then we hand them over to fitting, and they get doctored and fitted onto the car.
This
is the lower exhaust balance panel for the rear. Just trimming it out, dialing it in, one of many parts. The quarters and the fenders are extremely difficult because there's a lot of really intricate angles, and the hood is a little tricky. That's a big part.
Just trying to make sure that our flanges are adjusted well and things are sitting nicely at the quarter and rocker. Make some marks, see how things are looking. Obviously, we still have to be able to remove the fender and everything, but quarter panels and doors are gonna get physically bonded to the car. Once we get everything mocked up, gaps are looking good, we're happy with where everything fits, we will take the car as a whole, fully built, and push it back to paint and body, and they'll start processing from there.
He goes, I'd like to see if we could merge the American muscle car experience with refinement. We started to discuss what that might look like. Color combinations could make a difference there, certainly the interior. He knew he wanted blue. He knew he didn't want to duplicate his 1970.
I wanted blue because the old one is blue, but I didn't want it to be the same color blue. I wanted it more modern, if you will. A really deep, rich blue, some metal flake in it, have depth to it, a color that at nighttime is probably going to look black.
Some colors, they look different, the different angles you look at them, whether it's day or night, sunny day, cloudy day. It's almost like your car has its own mood going on.
We did quite a few spray outs, some of which were custom colors that we actually mixed in-house. As it turns out, that's one of the ones he chose.
That was the one, and he said, this is it. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's a beautiful color, so I'm okay with that.
Now that I saw it, I told him, like, you absolutely nailed what I was trying to describe to you.
It's more of a midnight blue. The more you look at it, you see blues, you see teal, you see a little bit of green and the metallics.
It mutates. Last night, we come in, sun hadn't set yet, and different angles, different colors, and even as the sun went down and we pulled up under a street light, on one side it almost looked black, under the street light you would see like a dark blue or purple, and then, I mean, it just looked incredible.
This one is one that I really think, is Chevelle. It really puts that stamp on it.
Now, we're going to do the white stripes with pearl, metal flake, flat white, and we chose pure white because we felt like that contrasted the most with the metal flake and the blue.
All hand laid, spray the stripe color, clear it, cut it, and re-clear it. Build the clear up as high as you can without putting it on the floor. Cut it very coarse and get the flattest product you can get.
So then I'm starting to think about, okay, what's the interior going to be? Now, I think kind of what inspired me was one of my favorite interiors is a Ferrari 599 I have. I sent him pictures of it. Said, I love this color of Ferrari leather, and I think it'd go good with the blue.
We did a lot of research in the various models and exotic cars. Ferrari was one that he was partial to.
It's just one thing that Italians kind of take next levels of leather. It's softer, it's more supple, it's got a different smell to it. And I was like, if we could put that in the American muscle, how cool would that be?
We had to really dive deep, and we had to reach beyond some of our suppliers. This took a while.
And so Todd sent me samples. One of the colors matched the 599 that I have. And I was like, well, let's do a two-tone. So then we started playing with, how light do we want to go? How dark do we want to go?
Then we ordered the hides from Italy, had them shipped in, and had the seats made here in our custom shop.
And then he brought up a good idea to do the blue stitching to match the exterior. So we got this deep blue stitching, subtle, but it looks phenomenal.
We played around with a couple different wheel combinations. In Biloxi, we had the 5 spokes with black interior. We later switched that out to all steel interior.
What color do you want the brake calipers? Like, well, we could do the same color as the exterior, because I wasn't sure. He's like, I think if you do that or black, you're going to lose them. They won't have. And I think if we do them red, there's an SS 454 that's on the side, which designates the engine that's in it, and it's got red in it. And I wasn't even thinking that was even there. I wasn't even thinking about it. And he said that red caliper will pull out that red, and when I see it, it absolutely does, and it looks great.
With that color combination, with the chrome bumpers, he had that classic look that he was after.
Everybody that saw it just felt like the chrome was awesome.
At the end of the day, I think it was a great call because there's a lot of chrome on the wheels. They have the emblems on the fender that are outlined in chrome. There's little chrome splashes around the car.
The painted bumpers look amazing on the cars. A little bit more of a modern look. The first car they built, the prototype, was painted bumper. The red car they had painted bumpers, looks amazing. But for me personally, it's a part of the DNA of the 70. Of course, the horsepower just blows people's minds.
Yeah, out of I think the first 30 cars sold, we had sold out of those 25 454 combos, which is the highest level horsepower output that we offer.
1,500 horsepower at the rear wheels, insane. I mean, that's next level horsepower.
Brad's car laid down 1,480 rear wheel horsepower. That is on a pumpy 85 fuel that you can get right at just about any gas station through a full exhaust.
And to be streetable, to be able to sit in bumper to bumper traffic when it's 90 degrees and not overheat and have cold AC, but have at tap 1,500 horsepower was unheard of, certainly when I was growing up.
You know, as you can see behind me, the car's fully dressed, 20-inch wheels that are 13 inches wide, full exhaust system with catalytic converter still EPA compliant. This isn't on like race gas or juiced up to the gills. We like promising as delivered, and that's in a fully dressed vehicle, roadworthy, ready to go home.
It's like 5 shades lighter, where the sun's kind of beating directly at it on this side.
I love that. Imperial Blue Metallic.
Also known as Big Brad Blue.
That's a pretty Chevelle I've seen in my life.
Really? Yeah.
My God.
Is it a retro or what is it?
It's a new one.
It's a brand new one?
24 model.
That's gorgeous. They making them again?
Our company makes them.
What's the name
Out
of
of
the company?
Florida, Trans Am Worldwide.
Every year in Biloxi, they host a car show called Cruising the Coast. It's a week-long show, but now it's drug out into like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks. And there's approximately 12 to 13,000 cars that show up there and just cruise up and down the beach.
Yeah, when he pulled in, it looked like the Chevelle. I'm like, wait a minute, something different. You open up the door panel, I'm like, yeah, Chevelle. It's got a 6.2 in it.
This is a custom-built 454, 1,500 at the rear wheel, twin turbo.
Their eyes are telling them, this is a Chevelle and it's a new one, but no, I know nobody makes one. Like, where did it come from?
The chassis is an Alpha chassis, so whether it's a Camaro or the CTSV Cadillac, they're the same. We strip it down to a rolling frame, we rebuild it back with a full carbon fiber body.
Y'all nailed that one.
Dude, that's amazing.
That sucker's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
That's the best retro I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
That's how GM could have did it from the start.
First shake your hand, brother. We were just talking about dream cars. I couldn't just really name one.
This is Trans Am Worldwide. Trans Am Worldwide, yeah. They are horsepower. So it's that level. Thank you. Not right. Not right.
Unbelievable.
I think it just got added to our Christmas list.
And these are people that know cars. These are people that have seen the best of the best.
Beautiful build.
Thank you.
The motor makes, I don't know if that's what it is, and you add that.
Yeah. It's it dynoed at just less than 1,500 wheel. It takes 30 pounds of boost to get to that number. We developed a gear system that we mount in the hubs, reads the speed of the wheel, and the sensor speak to the computer and tell it how much boost to add incrementally. So in microseconds, it's reading wheel speed. From a dead stop, it may only take off at 10 pounds of boost. The faster this goes, the more boost it adds. So if the rear wheel's spinning, this is not going faster. It's not going to throw excessive power that you can't use. It just continues to just, I mean, it gets to a $140 like that, and it feels like it's sucking you through the back seat.
Ram something all the time.
Yeah. By developing this, as much power as this has, it has more control than some of the 700-800 horsepower cars, because they're all like this, whereas this one's just going straight.
It's like an NFL linebacker in a tuxedo. It's got the ability to be nasty and strong, but it's also very refined and proper if it needs to be.
This color is a special color called Big Brad Blue.
Big Brad Blue. I like that.
So it's all carbon fiber and it's 1,500 horsepower.
1,500?
Yeah, at the rear wall.
That is a one of a kind. I'll tell you what, that is beautiful. That's the way they ought to start mass producing.
And it's, well, what do you think it resembles?
It's a Chevelle. It's a Chevelle SS. It's just unbelievable.
Yep. It's all carbon fiber construction, the body. This one in particular is one of 25.
Wow.
SS 454 twin turbo, 1,500 horsepower.
Man.
I think it's a huge compliment when you have people come up and they say, is this a 70 SS? They think it's an old SS that's just been somewhat modified. Some people didn't think it was a new car.
That may be the best looking car here this week.
Thank you.
That is unbelievable.
So that tells you they nailed still having the DNA of the old 70. That was the other thing about it. It wasn't like I looked at it and was like, okay, it says 70 SS. This is a new iteration of it, but I can't even tell that Grandpa was a 70 SS. Following mine and the old one, I just couldn't stop looking at it. I can't take my eyes off of it.
It was really cool to see the 70 SS LS6 that my brother Scott built for Brad and the newer one that I built for him at the Beau Rivage in Biloxi. There was a lot of pride for me in that and Scott.
To have it, probably the nicest hotel down there in the front, I was kind of blown away by that. I think they said there was 10,000 cars that were registered or something insane like that, and how many more were around that weren't registered.
Great job for those body lines. It looks as good here as I saw it. I think we looked at that video.
Yeah. When they're unveiling it, pull the cover off.
Yes.
We call it the 70 SS.
1,500 horsepower to the wheel. 15 to the wheel? 1500. Twin turbo.
Fantastic.
That's Chevelle, right? Oh, yes.
What do you like about it?
Everything.
I think it's one of the best we've seen tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, most definitely. I think I would do all black with the pink underline.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Oh, yeah.
You can check us out on YouTube. We've been doing this 14 years. Okay. We started with the Trans Am, did the GTO.
That's my favorite car. That's all I got in Honda.
Oh, really?
7172.
Really? That's it.
Yeah.
It's my favorite muscle car. I don't care what manufacturer you like. I think anybody would have to say it. 70 SS. If it's not the top, it's the top 2 or 3 for sure.
Oh, I love it. See if I get in line.
I just don't think it gets any better than 70 SS. So that's my humble opinion.
And when you impress this group of people, you've done something.
You've got this classic combination color scheme on the outside, those gorgeous 5-spoke throwback Mach 5 wheels that are sporting 335s on a 12-inch on the rear. So you've got all this American muscle, all the testosterone you need for the outside of the car. Then you open the door, climb in the cabin, you sink into that seat as your hands grip the carbon fiber wheel that's wrapped in leather that the seats are made from. You take a deep breath and you become instantly intoxicated with the aroma of fresh Italian leather. And then you realize intuitively this car is something special. And I think it's at that moment that I realize we have now been able to marry that refinement he was looking for with the American muscle.